Today I have to put all of this in the ground. Some of the tomatoes are going into 5-gallon pots. But in this video I'm going to put the herbs in the ground and deal with the other ones that are already in the ground. I don't have the food force ready yet to put them in, so I'm going to bring them up and put them in a bed up there, and when I get each space made for a herb, then I'll dig them up and transplant them over. I got this tray. I've made it a little more sturdy, so I'm going to put them in that and bring them up. These little containers dry out way too fast, you see. You water them and sun shines on them, hour later they're bone dry. I'm going to put them down in with the Dill's Atlantic Giant here, cup and all, because I can have the vine running and I can cut hole in the vegetation of the vine to let sun in on the herbs. So if I just stick them in like that, get the vegetation up, then it should stay as moist as the soil around it. This one hasn't grown very large yet. The bottoms of these cups are not fully open, so when it comes time to bring them over to the food force, I might be able to come along and just take the edge of the cup and just pull it right up. Worms everywhere. Shouldn't have to worry about them drying out. Now I've made a sign. I've got the wire stapled on the back. There we go. St. John's wort. Now 6 St. John's wort, 2 lavender, 4 Greek oregano, and 3 winter savory. Water them in and they should stay as moist as the rest of the soil around them. This is the main lot of herbs that I have right now. Here's 2 white lavender, and that is the St. John's wort that I'm going to leave in the herb beds. The rest will be going in the food forest. This one I had growing over right there all of last year, and it remained a little tiny plant only about this high. And when I dug it up to move it, it had a root system the size of a 2-liter milk jug. So it was sitting there all of last year, basically building up its roots. So we'll see now this year how fast that will grow and how tall. It's said to grow up to 3 feet tall and about as wide a spread, maybe a little less spread, which means it'll fill out, once it's full growing, it'll fill out this area that I've got it planted in. That is a green lemon thyme, and when the snow had melted, this tag was outside of the plant like this, and now it's growing all the way in. I have to cut this way back. Of course, it's soon going to be overtaking these chives and the French tarragon that's there. Last year it had overtaken this. This is a French thyme, and that's why it's growing. See, here's the root system is growing off to the side, because it was on the other side of that green lemon thyme over there, and the thyme, it just overgrew it and it couldn't get any light, so I had to move it away. I had a garden sage and a purple sage, and they died, not winter gone, winter before. And this here is broadleaf sage, so we'll see how well that grows in my climate and whether it will survive the winters. This one is lovage. This is another plant that's supposed to grow quite large. It will take a few years though, and so I planted it there, and when I decide I have to move it, well, I'll move it. It grows up. It's not invasive, because even though it will produce a lot of seeds, it'll just drop its seeds straight down. So what will happen if I let it go to seed? I'll have a whole bunch of plants right around the base of the mother plant. And that's a lavender that doesn't seem to be growing right. Now, as I was saying, I have to cut this way back once I get comfortable here. And because it's growing so much, the scissors is the best way to do this. I was going to go in and get some firewood this morning, and I said, yeah, the flies and mosquitoes are going to be terrible, and they are, but not too terrible that I can sit here and do this. I'll bring this in the house now, and I'll lay it out on a window screen and get it nice and dry. Just need to lay it on a window screen and let it sit there for a week or so. And then it's the leaves that you save. Now, I really like green lemon thyme, and there's a branch right here that's laying down. I'll put some compost on top of it like that, and that'll sprout roots now, and I'll have another plant. I could cut it from the mother plant and the plant to put out in the food forest. I have some bags there because I have several to harvest. Let's cut down these chives here. One of the nice things about chives is that you can cut them down like you would grass. One of the bad things is that grass can get in among them. We can just take the whole entire clump. Got a dandelion growing up here. And cut it down like that and it'll grow back. When you get it low, you might be able to get out some more of the weeds. Now let's go over and cut off the rest of the chives. My thinking with these, I was watching another YouTube channel and the lady was saying that she could take the tops of the onions and dry and powder them, and then she'd have green onion powder. Basically the same as onion powder, a little less strong, I guess. So my thinking was I should be able to do that with chives as well. I go through a lot of garlic powder, but these would be nicer to turn to powder, I'm thinking, than the garlic. And then my garlic I'll just use as fresh garlic throughout the winter rather than drying it and using it as powder. I'll just add my chive powder. Sometimes that happens, the weeds just get right in among your chives, and the only thing you can do then is pull the thing up, and you can pick them apart and clean it out and put down a small root from the original plant, but you'd have to, like I say, pull it up and pull everything right apart to get the weed out. So that's what we got for chives. This plant is catnip. It makes a calming tea, and a part of the sleepy time tea that you can buy, or you can make your own if you have the right herbs. They say it has a similar effect on humans that it does on cats. This is another one that grows up quite tall, like about 3 feet. It sets out a ton of seeds, but the seeds just fall right around the plant. 2 summers ago I let that go to seed, and last spring there was about 1 million plants growing up around the original plant. I'm going to keep this a little lower this year. How low now? Well, I guess that'll change from day to day, I don't know. It's not an invasive plant, like I say, it stays right there. It'll spread mainly by dropping its seed around its base and slowly go outward. And there's the roots. See, if you want to put a plant off somewhere else, which I may do, as well, out in the food forest, or the wilder set is probably the best place to put that. And for now I'm going to just leave it like that and just keep it from spreading laterally. And so that's what I've taken off of that. This plant here, you probably recognize it as curly leaf parsley. So parsley is usually grown as an annual. And then I was trying to grow it in the house, and it was going on and on. I'm like, And I find out it's a biennial. Well, I had no idea. I didn't expect it to survive our winters at all. Last year, the growing season came around, and there was this parsley plant growing here. And I'm sure I didn't plant that here this year. That overwintered. And so I let it grow up, and it grew up quite a large plant. I mean, you can see how big it is now, according to my hand, and it's only middle of June. It grew up a quite large plant. It didn't flower. I didn't harvest it in the fall. Snow melted this year, and there it was, growing again. So I went online and did my check. Apparently, if you let your parsley plant grow for a couple months in the fall to build up its energy, it will come back the next year. If you harvest all the way through, you'll get a biennial at best. But parsley you can keep as a perennial. What I want to do now actually is clear out the leaves right on the bottom here. These were the leaves that was there. Some of them have died, but some of them were still alive from last year. But it's getting pretty thick. I'm going to have to wash it because it's right down on the ground and it's getting dirty. Because this is new to me, and it's apparently new to a lot of people that parsley will do this. And so I want to see now how it's going to grow in its third year. With those leaves clipped off the bottom, it's a nice looking plant there now. And so, finding that out, I put 3 of the other ones that I had growing, see 1, 2, and another one over here, there, so that I would have a nice batch of parsley. The bigger ones now, like the oregano over there, and the winter savory. It is actually 3 plants actually I put there, but I keep it in a small batch, each one, and so that I can have a herb garden that I'm harvesting from, and then if I need more, that's what the wheeler stead is for. This is winter savory. It's growing slowly. It's not up enough for me to really do any harvesting on it. It's got some Winterkill here that I want to remove, just to keep it looking nice, you see. Thing about having Winterkill and things like that on your plants, you had to be careful too, because that's the place where sickness can get in, right? And fungal diseases and whatnot. So if you have any of that on any of your plants, then you'd be wise to cut it off. This is another plant that I rooted along its stem as well. If you see something like this, you got a sharp curve here, and there's 3 little shoots coming up here. If you weigh that down into the soil, it'll put out roots at this point right here, and you get a new plant. I have, what was it, 4 winter savory plants already for the food force, so I'm not going to bother. That's it. We've cleaned up that plant. This is a Greek oregano. Technically, that's not very big either, but it is getting over and almost touching the chives over there. So I want to cut it back a little bit from there. But it probably won't even be enough to weigh. Just like that. And I'll let the rest do its thing. I did have a summer savory planted here last year. So apparently summer savory just grows for that year. It won't survive winters here anyway. And then there was a Chinese celery. That's what those couple little sticks are there. And this bigger one here. Now that's our bed now. So Greek oregano, our chives cut down, our winter savory got the Winterkill taken off it. That one, the underneath limbs taken off, looking nicer. That one cut back a little bit. We got our 2 lavender. I don't know which lavender I want to keep because, like I say, the other one is growing kind of weird. I got this one, and this one was overcome with other vegetation last year, so he didn't grow very much. So that's 2 lavender there. French thyme, lovage, lavender, another chives, French tarragon. And this is how I have the green lemon thyme looking now. St. John's wort and the 2 white echinacea. Now we are out and harvested some herbs. What is the weight? Fresh herbs. I didn't harvest very much oregano. Let's see if it'll weigh. Oh yes, it'll weigh. That's 11 grams. For the rest of it, of course, I'm going to have to put this bowl on. The bowl is 337 grams, but I'm going to zero it. And then put that green lemon thyme in there. Now what do we have? 386 grams. No, 369 grams. And here's what we do. Away from direct sunlight. Spread it out on window screen. Like so, and wait for it to dry. Can I fit the rest of them? Weigh them in this gallon ice cream container, I wonder. That way I'll be able to show the weight on the camera better. Got that in there, should be able to get the rest of it in there. 203 grams. 200, yeah, it's oscillating back and forth. We'll say 203. Now for the chives. Chives, to dry them, I'm going to cut them up and put them in the dehydrator. I'll have my house smelling of chives, but I like the smell of chives anyway. So it doesn't matter. $375 grams. And I guess our last one is the parsley. $40 grams. Hope you enjoyed my herb garden. Hit the like button for me and I'll see you in the next video.